member of the board since 2015. And it is my immense honor to introduce our next keynote speaker, Sriram Samu. He is a VP of Customer Technology, Retail, and E-commerce. So what does that mean? That means that he is one of our leaders within KT that is responsible for doing all kinds of cool stuff. And you're going to want to hear everything he has to say today. So I'm going to get out of the way and let him talk.
Good morning. I'm really excited to be here, and I really enjoyed your talk. I think the career advice and sustainability truly resonated with what I believe in, so I think it's exciting to see P&G commit so much in your career, you're committing so much to that. This is a great time to be working in technology. Like, not a week goes by without some major announcement in technology. Like, I can reel off, like, LLMs came 2 years ago. Now they're actually old, right? You're talking about Operator and Mariner and chatbots and agent AI and so on. Then there are self-driving cars, drones. So it's like, I'm really excited for you. I'm excited working in technology. So today I'll talk about what it takes to build technology at a company like Kroger. How do we build great customer experience? How do we build great associate experience? And what are the challenges that we face? And hopefully that helps you as you go into your career working in technology. I'll also talk a little bit about my career path, how I got to where I got. So I grew up in India. So as a kid, like I think most boys in India, I wanted to play cricket for India. Right? That is my passion. As in, if I can't play cricket, maybe I'll play field hockey. But you reach a point in time when somebody is throwing a ball at you at 70 or 80 or 90 miles per hour, and you soon realize, maybe that's not that big a career path that you take, and if you're going to do that for 10 years, you might also think of something else to do. So for me, again, growing up in India, I think the expectation is that you become a doctor, or you become an engineer, or you become like a cost accountant, go into finance. So I picked engineering, and I got admitted into the IIT Madras, which is one of the premier schools in India. And I got into chemical engineering. And long story how I got into chemical engineering, but I won't get into it. But I had a fantastic 5 years at IIT. And then I got a scholarship to come and study chemical engineering in the US. So I landed up at Pullman, Washington. Anyone knows where that is? Washington State University. Oh, there was one person. And I'm surprised. I think nobody knows where they are. So just think about me. I was living in a city, Madras, Chennai, which is 5 million people. And I land up in Pullman, which is 26,000 people. And not even a McDonald's at that time. So that is a cultural shock. And then I go into my chemical engineering lab, and the first project I work on, my research project, was to analyze sludge out of some factory in Pocatello. So after spending several months in the lab, I decided this is not really what I want to do with my life. And that's when I made the second best career decision in my life. I decided I was going to change from chemical engineering to computer science. And I had done one class in IIT during my undergraduate. And I was really excited, but I couldn't change my major at that time. So I took the plunge and I applied for computer science and got into University of Wisconsin in Madison. The stats say that most people change their major about 3 times in their college. My takeaway from that is, don't do that in grad school. Do that early in your career, do it in undergraduate, get all the changes out of the way, and when you go to grad school, be sure what you want to study, because it is pretty brutal to go into a grad level computer science program. Got through that, I went to the Bay Area, started working in some technology companies. So I worked in Informix, worked at Oracle, and so on, and great experience building technology. But then I found I'm really not interacting with the customers. I didn't even know how anyone used the database. Like, all the applications were beyond me. So this was a time during the internet times, the internets were coming up, so I made the third best decision in my life, which I said, hey, I should go into the internet thingy, whatever that was, and start doing e-commerce. And from then on, I worked in several companies doing it. When I worked in big companies, I did 3 startups as either the first employee or one of the founding members. Really exciting work. You know what you're capable of doing, and you also find out what you're not capable of doing when you get thrown into the deep end. And around that time, I also thinking, how do I make an impact, right? I'm doing a lot of work. Startup companies, you work anywhere from 12 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, and very little break. how do you make a big impact is in the big companies. Like when you think about the companies like Kroger and Walmart and the big companies which really make an impact. So I decided to change from pure e-commerce, I got into retail, and that's how I came to Kroger. And the timing could not have been better. Like if everyone remembers, I came to Cincinnati in 2017, and 2020, we had COVID. And what is a better place to work than in a company that is providing food for the people? So every day we were doing some innovation to make the customer's life easier. We are doing something to make the associates' life easier, to make sure the supply chain was running, the stores were open. So that was a really exciting time. But the best career decision I made actually was to be a lifelong learner. Technology keeps changing, and I think in the time I've been working on, I started out programming at PDP level because my professor said the only way you learn about computers is that if you learn assembly language programming. So PDP 11, when I went into PCs, then I went to mid-range computers, I worked on mainframes, then the client-server computing, then I went to the cloud, I did internet, and now we are doing data and AI. So and tomorrow is going to be something else, so we don't even know what that is. So my advice and the best decision I made is that I continue to be very active technically. I'm a manager, I manage a large team, but I'm very, very technical. I keep up with what is going on. And Kroger encourages all of us to be very technical and keep learning. So every 2 months, we have one day set aside at Kroger to study. And we can take any training classes. I use Coursera, I use Pluralsight, I have internal classes. We get some of the vendors like Microsoft and Google to come and talk to us about what is happening in their company. So it's a big learning experience for all of us. And then there are always really good people in the company who know something, who are passionate about something, and they'll give talks to educate the remaining people. I moved to Cincinnati 7 years ago. I have 2 daughters, and my wife stays here with me. She's a tax accountant, totally different than what I do, but she's passionate about heart health. And so, because her brother passed away at a young age. So we'll be, next month, there's an American Heart Association mini walk over here, and we'll participate in the team. 2 daughters who also went through a lot of career, as they studied, they went through different majors. I think they all changed 2 or 3 times. So one is finished her MBA and is working in a consumer packaged good, not Procter & Gamble. And they sell at Kroger. So now finally I tell her, you got to listen to me when I tell you something. Otherwise you don't get to sell at Kroger. Not that I have any power like that. My second daughter did psychology and then did user experience design. And she works in a company in the East Coast. And she's an avid user of the Kroger app, and I get a lot of feedback from her every day, saying what works and what doesn't work. So you don't want a kid like that at home who knows more than you do on how it should be designed. I have a few questions as we go through, so I'm going to ask you guys. And I've been told at high school you know everything. So I'm expecting that you guys know the answers to pretty much what I asked over here. And I look at Cincinnati, I think there are 3 iconic companies for me. One is, of course, Procter & Gamble. We are in the building, and thanks B&G for hosting us. And one is Kroger, and the third one for me is Grater's Ice Cream. I think all of them have been around since 1800 sometimes, so it's actually exciting. So, when is Kroger founded? Don't look at there you go. Keep going. Just tell out the number. Anyone else? Okay, one more. Okay, 1883. Great job. And he didn't even look at this laptop or phone at that time, so he knew it. Awesome. Come talk to me after that. I think we need to get you into Kroger. So our story, Barney Kroger started Kroger in 1883, the single store, and it has grown into 35, multiple states across 35 states. Our go-to-market strategy is like fresh, our brands, personalization, and seamless. And the last 2 are what the technology team drives. The other 2 are business initiatives. And we are really making sure that the customer's experience is really good. So we don't, the motto that he said, never sell anything that you would not want yourself. That is true in 1883 and it is true today. Second question, what is Kroger? Is it a grocery company? Is it a manufacturing company? Is it an e-commerce company? Or is it a technology company? This is a little trick question. All of them, yes, I think I hear a lot of people. See, I knew high schoolers know everything. I can't even try this one. So yes, all of them. So if you look at that about Kroger, so we're the top 10 e-commerce companies in the country. We are the largest traditional grocery company in the country. We have over 2,700 stores. And we are 25 in the Fortune 500, Fortune 50 list by revenue. It's a big company, lots of interesting products, stores all over the place. And when you think of Kroger, when you think of food, you want to think of Kroger. Our fresh is really what we focus on, fresh for everyone. And I'm sure all of you have seen the Kroger ads that talks about the Krogis, as we call them, that use the cartoons to show about Kroger. 11 million users shop every day. And around Christmas and Thanksgiving, it's probably 50% more than that. 62 million households, 2,700 stores I talked about. We also have huge manufacturing facilities, 33, and then pharmacy division as well as fuel and gas stations. So big company, lots of challenges, but the one thing I want to call out is how we give back to the community. So we have a program called Zero Hunger, Zero Waste. And we try not to waste any food in the store. We also donate to that. So we've given 3 billion meals to that program to make sure that there is no hunger in the communities that we serve. We also help people save money, $15 billion saved via coupons. We also save them time. So my team does the pickup and delivery of technology, and we really feel like it helps people to do other things in their life than going to the store once a week, twice a week. Not that we don't want you to go to the store. You should go to the store and enjoy, but when you don't have time, use pickup or delivery. We also multiple banners. So my daughter, for example, shops at Harris Teeter in Virginia. I shop at Kroger, and then when I go out to the west, I go to Fred Meyer or QFC. And we have a lot of associates. It's a big company, one of the biggest companies in the US. 420,000 plus people, which means that every software that we build, every process that we use needs to be extremely efficient to make sure that the associates get to do it easily. So my pet product is like the seamless customer experience. And we do a lot of technology to build this. So we have one app, and I will say app would be the same thing as on the web. You can go use them in store. So we have in-store navigation that allows you to find where an item is. You can do price checks. You can add things into your list and make your navigation within the store easy. We do pickup. So you can, when you come to the store, you can say like, I want to pick up at the back of the store, and you can inform us that you're coming so that we can have the order ready so that we minimize the time you spend picking up the order. Delivery is something new that we launched. We partnered with a company called Ocado, and for the people who like robotics, go take a look at, go to YouTube and search for Ocado Smart Platform. That is a really cool technology that we rolled out that allows us to automate the picking process. And finally, for bulk items, we can ship everything to home and just be in the comforts of your home. So, last question. What is the peak number of daily customers at Kroger? $22. All right, we have a winner. So I would say about 50% higher than normal traffic, but 11 is also the right answer. Thank you. So I'll talk a little bit about the technology foundations. So we use a lot of infrastructure. Like, anyone like hardware here? There are all kinds of hardware that we use inside Kroger and software. So if you think about technology, like I talked about Informix, I worked with Informix. One of the first time I walked into a Kroger store, they were running Informix in the store. Plus, we run all kinds of databases, relational databases. We have NoSQL databases. Now we are using vector database for AI and ML. So all kinds of technology that comes over there, including networking and programming languages and so on. We also have a mix of diverse, modern and new technology. Kroger has acquired a lot of companies over the years, and every time we buy a company, we get some new technology from the other company. And we try to standardize them, but we can't. So we end up having COBOL programs from the 1980s that sometimes we don't even know how it works. Or a VB6, Visual Basic 6 program. So that is one of the challenges, and one of the projects my team is working on is how do we take an old technology and modernize it when you're running a business on that? And that is extremely challenging. And then we have technology that runs in the stores. I think you know data centers in the cloud, but in the store there is a lot of technology. We have IoTs that do temperature sensing. We have the people, the associates walking around with handheld devices. We have cameras that are tracking what people are doing in the store. We have theft protection mechanisms in the store that is doing video access and analyzing them. And then you run on all the clouds. So when you're big and successful, everyone wants to hack you or try to do something. And there are generally two types of attacks that we see. One is from nation states who just want to disrupt what is going on in this country. They want to disrupt our supply chain. They want to do something for their own political gains. The other side, you have the cyber gangs who want to come and steal your identity, maybe a credit card, and try to make some money out of that. And these numbers are industry standard numbers, and I'm not going to read all of them, but just a scale, if you look at them, really the critical infrastructure and supply chain are what the bad guys are targeting. And keep in mind, they just need to get through once out of 1,000 or 1,000,000 times, whereas we need to protect it every single time. And Kroger's been really good at that, and I think there are a couple of tracks where we talk about cybersecurity and opportunities tomorrow, so please if you're interested in cybersecurity, please make sure that you attend those. Kroger's really good at resolving cybersecurity issues, and we're also really good at reducing the attack surface. What that means is that let's make sure that everything that Kroger is not exposed to the internet. People really need access to be able to come and do something within Kroger, so we control the inlets to the technology that we have. Privacy matters. I think all of you are very sure, like you hear about data breach and so on. So we take a lot of care to make sure that the data that you entrust with us is safe. So anything like personal identifiable information, your date of birth, your email, your address, we protect that because every time you place an order, you're giving us a lot of information. Same thing with payment data. You don't want your credit card information to be stolen, so we make sure that is also safe. And for the healthcare, we take care of the patient health information. And then a lot of states are now coming and saying, hey, you need to have data privacy. Customers want to protect their data and want to know what their data does. So we give them access to how we use the data, and we allow them to delete the data when need be. And web content accessibility for people with disabilities. We want to make sure that our website or the apps are useful by everyone. And I saw there is a track later on today that talks about how to design applications that are useful for people with disabilities. Please take a look at that. And that's something that we really try to emphasize and make sure whatever we do is available and accessible by everyone. Of course, AI for business. AI has been around for a long time, since the 1960s. What changed in the last few years? One is the amount of data that is available now because of the internet and digitization of all the data. The second thing that happened is all the cloud computing and then the GPUs that came up, which actually made it easier to do a lot of things. So we use AI within Kroger extensively. So if people are interested in AI, we have a division within Kroger called 8451 that there's a lot of data science folks who work over there. Plus, even across a larger Kroger organization. So we use it for marketing, content creation. How do we generate content using AI? We use it for merchandising. How do we set prices? Instead of somebody going through and manually understanding what is the competitive price and setting it, we use AI to get those prices. We scan photographs and get the other information that the manufacturer may not give it to us. Reporting and insights. I know Mike talked about the reports that we do. There's a lot of reports in a company the size of Kroger. And we do spend a lot of time using reporting and insights out of the data that we have. And then of course, supply chain. How do we optimize how the associates walk within the store? How do we run our trucks between our warehouse and the store efficiently? And so many other ways. Talent. I'm sure this is something that you guys will be really interested in. Really, we have talent across the country. We are based in Cincinnati, but we have hubs in Charlotte, we have Portland, San Jose, and Boca Raton. And Boca is by the beach, by the way, so just so you know. And we work with vendors who are in Mexico, Canada, and India. And I forgot to add Spain. There's also one company that we work with in Spain. What we look for is that, when you get new graduates coming from college or from high school, really is that do we have some relevant skills? If you're coming into a programming job, do you know some programming language? But more importantly, the others are the more important one. How curious are you? Are you willing to learn? Do you have passion for work? Do you really come and make sure that you show up every day and then you're passionate for the work you're doing? collaboration and teamwork. Pretty much every project we work on is a team effort. Usually a team for us is about 10 people, one product manager, one designer, probably like 4 to 5 or 6 engineers, 1 or 2 QA members, 1 Scrum Master. So that's kind of the typical team. I think people call it a 2-pizza team, which means like the team can actually finish 2 pizza for lunch very easily. And good communication skills. You can have all the skills in the world, but if you can't communicate your thoughts and and work with your team members, it doesn't help very much. And we have diverse career path. I mean, pretty much any job. Rodney, our CEO, talks about come to Kroger for a job and stay for a career. So pretty much any job that you think of, you can find them in Kroger. But more importantly, if you look at technology, these are some of the jobs that can be in Kroger Technology and Digital, which is the division I work in, or across Kroger in many areas. So I'm going to end by showing you how do we bring all these together? Technology, customer experience, associate experience, data, and the customers into one example of how this all works. And if I can make this work.
12 million people walk through our doors every single day, buying roughly 30 billion items per year, 3.2 billion checkout experiences to connect, inspire, and uplift. But instead of focusing on our customers, we're focused on this, or even this. Not exactly the connection we're looking for. Our stores have changed drastically. It's time that our technology changes too. This is the next generation point of sale, improving every interaction for every item. With intuitive training from Baxter, your online training coach, easier item lookups and enhanced screen navigation, faster, easier, and better, all the way around. For our 100,000 front-end associates and the millions of customers we serve. But that's just the beginning. This isn't just an upgrade. It's a revolutionary, best-in-class point-of-sale overhaul. Transitioning from a point of sale to a point of customer experience. A single platform for every form of checkout, digital receipt, product recognition, and customer engagement. Imagine instantly rewarding an associate for exceptional customer service, or tailoring a checkout experience based on a customer profile, offering customizable preferences, specific messaging, and rewards, and then wishing them a happy birthday. This is about providing instant service to our customers, from anywhere, by anyone. But most importantly, putting our attention back where it needs to be, here with our customer. Doing what we do best, 3.2 billion times a year. Associate-driven, customer-focused.
All right, thank you everyone. You guys have been awesome. You got all the answers, but you seem so enthusiastic. Have a fantastic couple days. Enjoying the rest of the event. Thank you.